What do you call a sad frog? Unhappy. Why are frogs rarely angry? They eat whatever bugs them. What do frogs eat at McDonald's? French fries and a Diet Coke. Hello guys, today we are going to talk about why Big Daddy is the best character in The Princess and the Frog. So brief intro into Big Daddy. Big Daddy, or Eli. What type of nickname is Big Daddy? Does that not sound like suspect? Does that not sound a bit gross, a little bit perverted? I don't know. And whenever people say Big Daddy, does their first thought go to Big Papa? Anyway, that's different. That's besides the point. So Big Daddy is the father to Charlotte. Charlotte is Tiana's best friend. Big Daddy is extremely wealthy. I think he's a sugar baron. He's regarded as a very wealthy man, and he was crowned king of the Mardi Gras parade 5 years in a row.
Morning, Mr. LaBeouf.
Good morning, Tiana.
Congratulations on being voted king of the Mardi Gras parade.
Caught me completely by surprise. For the 5th year in a row.
So a brief description of Big Daddy, or certainly what he comes across as in the movie, is that he's wealthy, he's a pushover, and he seems to have a fairly easygoing life. So something that happens in The Princess and the Frog, when we're comparing characters and everything, is how Disney presents two extremes. So for instance, in the movie, the biggest extremes are Tiana and Prince Naveen, where Tiana's hardworking and serious, Prince Naveen is easygoing and free-spirited. But what Disney also does is show the extremes of these two things. So Tiana is too hardworking, where she has no life outside of just reaching her goals and working hard to reach her goals.
Hey, Tiana!
Morning, Georgia.
Hey, how you doing, Tiana?
Hey, y'all.
We all going out dancing tonight. Care to join us?
Come on, Tiana, live a little. It's Mardi Gras.
You know I got 2 left feet. Besides, you need a napkin, sweetheart? I'm gonna work a double shift tonight. Here you hotcakes. You know, so
You can save for your restaurant. I know. Girl, all you ever do is work.
Order up.
Maybe next time.
I told y'all she wouldn't come.
Whereas Prince Naveen is so easy going and easy, fun and free-spirited that he's like a man-child. And he even opens up in the movie that he doesn't know how to do anything.
There you go.
You know, I've never done anything like this before.
Really?
All right.
But when you live in a castle, everything is done for you. All the time. They dress you, they feed you, drive you, brush your teeth.
Oh, poor baby.
I admit it was a charmed life until the day my parents cut me off, and suddenly I realized I don't know how to do anything.
And it's really interesting, like, having two different perspectives of work ethic, of characters, of people, to show kind of the differences and extremes of work ethic, where you can just be easygoing and not know how to do anything and feel like a worthless human being. Or you could be goal-driven, work extremely hard, and then feel absolutely terrible and see nothing else until you reach that goal. And when you don't reach that goal, you feel like a worthless human being. So I thought that was really interesting, and there's a lot of other characters in that movie, like for instance Charlotte. You know, one of the big questions people might have is like, why doesn't Charlotte just give Tiana the money to open up her restaurant? But that's besides the point, and that's another video for another time. I'm just gonna say it now, I'm pretty sure if Charlotte offered the money, Tiana wouldn't have taken it. Anyway, that is besides the point. So what I wanted to do was kind of compare Big Daddy and James. James is Tiana's father. And the reason why I wanted to compare the two was because I feel like both characters are actually really well centered and really good characters to compare. I feel like even though both of them have very limited screen time, they are examples of really good work ethic and success and failure, but overall being really good human beings. Because at the end of the day, career-wise, non-career-wise, wealthy, poor, we're just human beings. So I'm gonna get into it. So both are extremely hard-working family men. Like I said before, Big Daddy owns a sugar baron company, He owns a company, right? He owns a company. He's extremely wealthy. I'm not gonna really get into the racial aspects of this, but at least not too deeply. I assume that being in America, and I think this is placed in the 1950s, you know, just being in America in general is a bit racist, and then being in the South, you know, who even knows what that's like in terms of being in New Orleans. Hey, hello, it's future editing Layla here. I'm just here to correct myself. I said New Orleans multiple times throughout this video, where I've learned that it's actually pronounced like
New Orleans.
So apologies for that. Yeah, but in my defense, at least I did not pronounce it like this.
New Orleans.
So if any of that, you know, I think you can give me a little bit of credit. Thank you so much. Please enjoy the video, like and subscribe. Yay! At that time. So I'm going to assume that, you know, Big Daddy comes from a line of privilege and a line of wealthy people, and that's, you know, amplified by him being white, whereas James himself, you know, is black, lives in poverty, and probably has all the things associated with those two intersections combined. And that could be a really, you know, big indicator of why one is, you know, in terms of wealth up here and one in terms of wealth is down here. But either way, I think that they both have a really strong work ethic, and that could be, you know, shown by Big Daddy still maintaining his wealth and still having wealth, still being rich. Whatever he does with his company, he's doing it quite well to still, you know, retain that money. Whereas Tiana's father, as you see, he works extremely hard, often coming home exhausted and hiding that from his family, working multiple jobs and still being extremely hard working men. So I think in terms of work ethic, this shows that you can still work hard. It shows the balance of working hard still. But then what they also show is being extremely very family orientated. So they're both extremely selfless to their daughters. Like I said before, James works really hard. He comes back home and he hides his exhaustion from Tiana.
And don't forget your poor daddy. Now, that was one hard-working man. Double, sometimes triple shifts. Never letting on how bone-tired and beat down he really was.
Daddy! Hey, baby cakes.
Shame all that hard work didn't amount to much more than a busted-up old gumbo pot and a dream that never got off the back porch.
And he's about supporting her. He encourages her to make that, you know, pot stew of gumbo. I'm so sorry. Hi, it's Editing Layla back here again. I really don't know why I messed up on this word. It's pronounced gumbo, like literally how it's spelled. Please enjoy the rest of the video, thank you. Whereas Big Daddy, you know, though he spoils Charlotte.
All right, now, Princess, you're getting that dress, but that's it. No more Mr. Pushover.
Now, who wants a puppy?
That still shows that he loves and cares for her. He might not be doing it in a completely healthy way, but it still stems from love that he gives her the stuff that she wants to have, and she has a nice room. I don't think there's anything wrong with pampering your child. If you have that amount of money, why not allow your child to have a good life and a better life? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The next thing that they both share as well is they both care about the community. in James's case, once Tiana made the gumbo, they invited everyone to their house to eat from that pot.
What?
Well, sweetheart, this is the best gumbo I've ever tasted. Come here. Eudora, our little girl's got a gift.
I could have told you that.
A gift this special just gotta be shared.
Hey, everybody, I made gumbo.
Ooh, that smells good.
I got some hush puppies, Tiana. You know, the thing about good food, it brings folks together from all walks of life.
Assuming that they didn't have a lot to give themselves, but then once they invited people, other people brought other things to eat the gumbo with. Some people might have brought plates or whatever, like, you know, and it just goes to show they had that community-oriented mindset where what they have, the community has, and vice versa. Whereas with Big Daddy, Big Daddy shows his care for the community in another way. And I think this could be shown by the fact that Big Daddy's wealthy. So he could go to any tailor in New Orleans, but he decides to go to Tiana's mother and support her and their business.
Evening, Eudora.
Daddy, look at my new dress. Isn't it pretty?
Oh, look at you. Why, I'd expect nothing less from the finest seamstress in New Orleans.
Ooh, I want that dress.
Ah, now, Sugar
I
Plum.
want that one. Please.
Eudora, you suppose you could whip something up like that?
Anything for my best customer.
Yay!
Come along, Tiana.
He could go to any wealthy tailor or tailor that, you know, makes clothes for the wealthy and prestigious, yet he decides to continue to support Tiana's mother to make dresses for Charlotte. Another aspect is that Big Daddy chose to eat at the restaurant that Tiana works at. Now, I don't know if he chose to eat there because Tiana's working there, so he's indirectly helping and supporting her, or if he just wants to help and support the community.
Now, how about I celebrate with...
Beignets. Got a fresh batch just waiting for you.
We'll keep them coming till I pass out.
Because Big Daddy could afford to go to any restaurant in New Orleans, and he chooses to go to that restaurant. So I think in a way, it shows that he's a community-driven person, as well as he was voted, you know, the king of the Mardi Gras 5 years in a row. It just shows that the community really likes him and really respects him, and that he likes and respects the community. I don't think that Big Daddy, from the movie, it doesn't seem like Big Daddy hands people out things, but I think that Big Daddy is very into supporting people with what they're doing and supporting people with their endeavors. And that's also shown by him hiring Tiana to work at the Mardi Gras parade. I mean, not hiring Tiana to work at his restaurant. Hiring Tiana to serve food at the party.
What just happened?
Oh, Tia, you're a bona fide genius. I'm gonna need about 500 of your man-catching beignets for my ball tonight. Excuse me, Daddy. Will this about cover it?
This should cover it just fine, Lottie. This is it. I'm getting my restaurant.
Woohoo!
And I think both of these characters together as well show that how you care about people and your actions can greatly influence others around you. So for instance, Big Daddy giving Tiana the opportunity to work at the party. Big Daddy continuously supporting Tiana's mother. And that just shows how him continuously supporting people in the community, how much they like him enough to vote him for a 5th time as the king of the parade. Whereas with Tiana's father, just him having that vision and having that goal of creating a restaurant, and then not being secular, so not being individualistic and just thinking this is going to be my restaurant, I'm going to work towards this goal, but actually inviting Tiana into that dream and taking her with him, as well as taking the whole family with him.
I got some hush puppies, Tiana. You know, the thing about good food, it brings folks together from all walks of life. It warms them right up and it puts little smiles on their faces. And when I open up my own restaurant, I tell you, people are gonna line up for miles around just to get a taste of my food.
Our food.
That's right, baby. Our food.
And it really shows that he was not about going forward by himself. He was about taking his full family with him and naming it Tiana's Place. It was, yes, it was his dream, but he shared that dream with his family and it became their dream. So what do these two well-rounded characters have to say about work ethic, careers, employability, entrepreneurship, and all those that get you further in a career? Is that all those things don't really matter if you don't have strong connections with other people. And this is actually backed up in a Harvard study. So in this study, they looked at, I think it was 725 men. For 75 years this study was going on. And I'm gonna link this. This is all from a TED Talk that I'm gonna link below. You can check it out yourself. But basically, in this 75-year study, they looked at their work, their home life, and their health. And what they found was that good relationships leave us happier and healthier. I think this is something really important to kind of talk about, because I think as someone myself, being in their 20s, wanting to be individualistic, wanting to go forward and start a career and work my way up that ladder, and then finally make some money. What type of mindset you need to have and what type of, lifestyle just working towards that will get you. I think for myself, I decided a long time ago that I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck like my parents or my family might be, and that I want something better for myself, and that I don't ever want that stress of money. I don't ever want to feel like I can't have, or to feel, not even that I can't have, to feel like stressed by money. I don't want that bone crushing feeling. And so I really valued pushing, being individualistic, hustle, grind. And I wasn't even hustling or grinding. I was just working a job during the week. Either way though, honestly, it's kind of scary listening to the results of that study and looking back at myself and being like, wow, what am I doing to maintain my relationships? What am I doing to retain my friendships and my family relationships? And where am I putting my time and my effort and my value into? And so honestly, watching that TED Talk was actually really scary, because it's putting a lot of responsibility onto myself about making sure that I still have happiness and that I'm being a good person and I'm valuing my friendships and my community, because you can only get as far as, I believe, you can only take yourself so far. You need other people to help you along the way. And that's not to say to look at people as gaining stuff, but it's to say you are just genuinely better off with other people to help you and support you. And so from that TED Talk, we learned that the quality of your close relationships is what matters, and that loneliness is toxic. Especially that some of the things that, a lot of people, maybe even here on YouTube, and maybe myself included, though I'm not really good for it. But anyway, maybe even myself included, chasing fame and chasing wealth is disastrous, actually, and could lead you into a life that's not worth living. And so, in conclusion, in terms of work ethic and looking at Big Daddy and James, I honestly feel like in the situations that they were in, with Big Daddy being able to benefit from being, I guess, a white guy in that time, and James not doing that, but them both working hard still, and them both really caring about their families and taking their families along with them and caring about the community. I feel like that is the true balance, where yes, you have dreams and you have goals, but if your dream and your goal isn't to add value to someone else that you really care about, or even to the world, if it's only individualistic, what are you living for? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's a bit mean, but I'm just saying, I think it's really important to for myself to kind of just look back and make sure that what I'm doing is taking people that I care about along with me, and to prioritize that, and in the way that will encourage others to do the same for me. You know, something that I learned in work that you may or may not find this helpful, but is to strengthen your strengths and not focus on your weaknesses. So a lot of the times people try to strengthen their weaknesses, you know, if they're bad at something, they try to get better at it, they try to improve. But the thing is, if you focus on strengthening your strengths, only you will be good at that. And then what you're lacking, you can invite other people to help fill in those gaps. And so when you're working in a team, rather than having someone who's, I don't know, really good at motivating the group, but actually really bad at doing things themselves, if you team them up with someone who's maybe, you know, more introverted, but is actually really good at the details, that way, the work is gonna get done. Like, it just makes more sense. Focus on your strengths. Use your strengths to help other people and have a group mentality, you know, and that's the way to go forward. And so in terms of work ethic and community and relationships, I feel like Big Daddy is probably the best character in The Princess and the Frog in terms of work ethic, because he does this so well in terms of yes, he's very wealthy, but he's still very hardworking, and he's still a good person, and he still values the community, and he values his friendships and his family. I think him and James are on the same level, and they're both good people. But I think what makes Big Daddy a bit better, I don't want to say better, but makes him the best character, is that he still has the things that people want. So he still has fame and wealth, but he also has good relationships, community relationships, and family relationships as well. And he works hard. He has a good mixture of everything that people want. That's what makes him one of the best characters in the movie, and a good life lesson. Yeah, that's what I think. So that's where I got into and towards my thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. I'm quite a big Disney nerd, so if you have, you know, any other movies or anything like that that you want to talk to me about in terms of work ethic and, you know, just entrepreneurship and families and community in general, that would be really fun. But either way, thank you so much for watching. My name is Layla. I've still not decided on what this channel's name is going to be yet, but we'll see. I make videos on Mondays and Fridays. Mondays is about entrepreneurship and business, because that's what I'm really focusing on right now. And Fridays is about whatever I want, but still in those realms. So I could be comparing work ethic to a Disney movie. I could be talking about, you know, being in my 20s and my quarter life crisis. Or I guess we could be talking about anything. It's whatever I want. So if you're interested in all that, please like and subscribe, and thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. On another note though, like, on a hot take, would you kiss a prince? No, would you kiss a frog to make your dreams come true? Like, would you rather? No. Would you kiss a frog to be a millionaire? Would I kiss a frog to be a millionaire? Do I have to use tongue?